This was the fourth day, when he had all ready. On the fifth day she sent him out to sea. But first she bathed him, gave him a scented cloak, and put on board a skin of dusky wine with water in a bigger skin, and stores, boiled meats and other victuals in a bag. Then she conjured a warm land breeze to blowing, joy for Odysseus when he shook out sail. Now the great seaman, leaning on his oar, steered all night, unsleeping, and his eyes picked out the Pleiades, the laggard ploughman, and the great bear that some have called the Wain, pivoting in the sky before Orion. Of all the night's pure figures, she alone would never bathe or dip in the ocean stream. These stars the beautiful Calypso bade him hold on his left hand as he crossed the main. 17 nights and days in the open water he sailed before a dark shoreline appeared. Scheria then came slowly into view like a rough shield of bull's hide on the sea. But now the god of earthquake, storming home over the mountains of Asia from the sunburned land, sighted him far away. The god grew sullen and tossed his great head, muttering to himself, "Here is a pretty cruise. While I was gone, the gods have changed their minds about Odysseus. Look at him now, just offshore of that island that frees him from the bondage of his exile. Still I can give him a rough ride in, and will." Brewing high thunderheads, he churned the deep with both hands on his trident, called up wind from every quarter, and sent a wall of rain to blot out land and sea in torrential night. Hurricane winds now struck from the south and east, shifting northwest in a great spume of seas, on which Odysseus's knees grew slack, his heart sickened, and he said within himself, "Rag of man that I am, is this the end of me? I fear the goddess told it all too well, predicting great adversity at sea and far from home. Now all things bear her out, the whole rondure of heaven, hooded so by Zeus in woeful cloud, and the sea raging under such winds. I am going down, that's sure. How lucky those Danaans were who perished on Troy's wide seaboard, serving the Atreidae. Would God I, too, had died there, met my end that time the Trojans made so many casts as me, when I stood by Achilles after death. I should have had a soldier's burial, and praise from the Achaeans, not this choking, waiting for me at sea, unmarked and lonely. A great wave drove at him with toppling crest, spinning him round in one tremendous blow, and he went plunging overboard, the oar half wrenched from his grip. A gust that came on howling at the same instant broke his mast in two, hurling his yard and sail far out to leeward. Now the big wave a long time kept him under, helpless to surface, held by tons of water, tangled too by the sea cloak of Calypso. Long, long until he came up spouting brine, with streamlets gushing from his head and beard, but still bethought him, half drowned as he was, to flounder for the boat and get a handhold into the bilge, to crouch there, foiling death. Across the foaming water to and fro, the boat careered like a ball of tumbleweed blown on the autumn plains, but intact still. So the winds drove this wreck over the deep, east wind and north wind, then south wind and west, coursing each in turn to the brutal Harry. But Ino saw him, Ino, Cadmus's daughter, slim-legged, lovely, once an earthling girl, now in the seas, a Nereid, Leucothea. Touched by Odysseus's painful buffeting, she broke the surface like a diving bird, to rest upon the tossing raft and say, "O forlorn man, I wonder why the earth shaker, Lord Poseidon, holds this fearful grudge. Father of all your woes, he will not drown you though, despite his rage. You seem clear-headed still. Do what I tell you. Shed that cloak, let the gale take your craft, and swim for it. Swim hard to get ashore upon Scheria, yonder, where it is fated that you find a shelter. Here, make my veil your sash. It is not mortal. You cannot now be drowned or suffer harm. Only, the instant you lay hold of earth, discard it, cast it far, far out from shore in the wine-dark sea again, and turn away."